Lele News Central TV.
All right, you're still watching Breakfast Central on News Central TV. Don't forget you can check us out on all our social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. That's at News Central TV. Now we're moving to the business segment, and we're still talking about the commissioning of the 923 million meter long, I beg your pardon, 923 meter long multi-million Kasongola bridge. Some people are asking what and how this bridge will benefit the continent economy-wise.
Well, speaking about the economy and all things in between about it, both inside Africa and around the world, we're joined once again by financial analyst Tunji Andrews, who returns to breakfast this morning. Tunji, it's been a while. Welcome back to Breakfast Central.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure being here.
All right, Tunji. Now, we've seen the commissioning of, that bridge, quite a long one. Tell us quickly what, it means for the continent and how it will improve the north-south corridor.
So the one of the things about the southern part of Africa is I think they seem to be the most connected, generally because of the demography and how they've been able to accommodate each other, mainly because everybody looks to South Africa in that region. But this is opening the south to the north. And it's a beautiful conversation that we are hoping that will bear more fruit. I think it is the beginning, at least it looks like the first monument that represents the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement in terms of the fact that we want to see a seamless conversation across Africa. So while of course it is just those countries that are being linked now, the conversations around the bridge, you could go from several countries to several countries in 1 hour. So if we can do that and channel that corridor between, say, a Nigeria and a Ivory Coast, for instance, that will be marvelous, because if you know the numbers, it looks like it's more expensive to visit some African countries than to go from an African country to an European country. So it's the beginning of hopefully more things to come.
All right.
All right. Now, Tunji, this bridge doesn't come cheap. I mean, the bridge cost a whopping $269.3 million. What does this figure actually tell us, Tunji?
It tells you how countries find trade important. What this bridge will do will multiply and dwarf that figure you just mentioned. Because trade needs to be seamless. I need to be able to go from one country to another, like I'm going from VI to Lekki, to go and drop my goods. That is the seamlessness of trade. And that is what African countries came to try and create that African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. It's the reason why the EU was created, if you think about it. Trade is very important. I know that the African factor might have come into building this bridge, but let's look at the positives, because the positives far outweigh whatever negative there may be in terms of overspending on the bridge.
All right, Tunji, let's stay with this in southern parts of Africa, South Africa to be more precise, where the rand has strengthened to its strongest level against the dollar in 16 months. Currently trading at 14 rand.05 to the dollar. Now, reports say this is mainly due to the weaker dollar after the U.S. jobs reports for April was weaker than expected, and the unemployment rate rose to about 6.1%. Now, what does this mean in South Africa right now?
I think a bit of respite. The rand has been dropping for a very long time. It's been a very sad scenario, especially because of the strength of the South African economy. It's one that it is supposed to do very well, although they've continued to have a lot of strikes around their mining sector, which of course is their own oil in South Africa. But I think generally South Africa shouldn't be in the position it is. The issues are temporal and structural. Once they can be able to get a lot of the trade disputes out of the way, the rand should continue to bounce back. But for now, it really is around the conversations around the dollar.
All right. Okay, Tunji, so just before we let you go, we need to take a look at what we have. Let's look at this. So Tunji, please tell me, is this how powerful the dollar is? Look at that little boy. He was crying and almost throwing tantrums as soon as he saw the dollar bills. He saw the Benjamins.
Chicken.
And then ching ching. I mean, tell us really, is there really magic in that dollar bill that you're seeing there?
I think so. Anybody will stop crying seeing that pile of money, even if they're just $1 bills. Anybody will stop crying. I think it's an innate thing in every human being to chase money. But yeah, that boy just shows you that whenever you are, you need to continue chasing money.
Yeah, it's just so striking. Young or old, babies or toddlers or adults like ourselves. We just tend to react differently to those dollar bills, don't we?
Exactly. The reactions are different. The older mothers and fathers will start praying. The younger children will stop crying. The middle-aged people would break into a dance. So yeah, it's the same reaction across board. It's just different expressions.
All right, thank you so much, Tunji.
The power of the dollar. I think Tunji, we don't think about the power of the dollar. Typical example of the power of the dollar. All right, Tunji Andrews, thank you so much once again for coming on Breakfast Central, for breaking it all down for us.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.